Hey guys, welcome back to the Curly Reader. My name's Amanda, and today I want to share with you some of the books that I've been reading recently. Okay, so before we get into this video, I did want to share, a lot of you are aware that I last year made some upcycled VHS bookmarks, and I am very excited to announce that they are back in my Etsy shop. So I have Disney, I have other things, I have some Christmas movies, I have a lot of different things in there. So the link will be down in the description box if you're interested in purchasing a bookmark. Feel free to do so over on my Etsy shop. I would love that. Now, let's get into some of these books. The first book that I have read recently that I want to share with you is a book that was gifted to me by Krista during our Christmas book exchange in December. And that is When Zachary Beaver Came to Town by Kimberly Willis Holt. This is a book that's about two friends, Toby and Cal, who live in this kind of small town when all of a sudden one day this trailer pulls in and it's advertised as the fattest boy in the world. And it's just kind of about them and this boy and their time during a summer. And guys, it wasn't great, unfortunately. This is not one that I would recommend. It did not age well. It wasn't even written that long ago. It was written in 1999. And there's just, I was not okay with the way that they were talking about this boy and his body and the way that they were treating him and the way the adults were treating him, and it was just not okay. So unfortunately, this one got 2 stars for me. That's kind of a bummer, but that's okay. There will be more to come. Okay, the next book that I read is With Neighbors Like This by Tracy Goodwin. This one I gave 4 stars to. It was a NetGalley book for me, and this follows Amelia, who has moved into a new neighborhood with her 2 children after her recent divorce. And then the HOA comes through, the Homeowners Association comes through and tells her she's not allowed to have her kid's beloved gnome on her front lawn. And she throws a fit and just says that she decides she's going to kind of dig her heels in and not go for it. Well, unbeknownst to her, the president of the Homeowners Association is a very attractive young man who gets along wonderfully with her and her children, but for this one small thing. And so it's just kind of a romance about her and this gentleman and his relationship with her kids, and I really enjoyed it. It was a clean romance for the most part. I can't remember if there was anything at all. I'm pretty sure it was completely clean. And I just thought it was kind of a fun little rom-com, and so I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. Another romance that I read is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This one for me, okay, so this one is said to be like a Schitt's Creek inspired story following a woman, Piper, who moves, something happens with her family. She's very well to do, comes from a very affluent family. Something happens and her dad pretty much cuts her off and makes her move to this really tiny town, and she finds this guy there that she gets along with. It's a romance between the two of them. And this one was just okay for me. I didn't love it. Specifically, this is very open door, very, very open door, and there's a lot of dirty talk during the sexy times, and it just kind of wigged me out. It was not my thing. Not my thing at all. So this one got 3 stars for me. But I know it's well beloved amongst romance readers who enjoy the smutty stuff, so this one's probably just a me thing. All right. Another one I read that I thought was just okay is ReDawn. This is by Jancy Patterson and Brandon Sanderson. This is the second novella in the Skyward series. So after the first 2 books, there are 2 novellas, and this is the second one. This is Elenique's story, who we meet in book 2. And so that's really all I can say about this, other than I just thought it was just okay. I found myself just trying to like speed through it just to get through it. I didn't feel like it added a ton to the storyline, the overarching storyline. It was just fine for me, so it got 3 stars. All right, and then the next one that I want to share is The Chain by Adrienne McKinty. This is one that I read in October because it was spooky season and I wanted a book that would kind of creep me out. And my friend Lindsay told me that this would do it. And this one was suspenseful ish for me. It wasn't too creepy. This follows Rachel, who one day her daughter gets kidnapped, and she gets basically a phone call saying, in order for you to get your daughter back, you have to kidnap another kid and hold him for ransom. And so she has to kidnap a kid, and then that kid's parents will get a phone call saying, you have to kidnap a kid, and it's a whole chain thing, and you can't ever get off the chain, and da 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 da. It was good, not great. I was expecting it to be great, and it was just fine. It was 3.5 stars for me. A lot of people have said that this book seems like it could be split into 2 books, and I would not disagree with that, but that part didn't really throw me off. It was very disconnected, the first and second half of the book. And yeah, that's really all I can say about it, other than for me, it wasn't super suspenseful, but there were parts of it that were really good. So take it for what it is. I gave it 3.5 stars. All right. And then I read The Babysitter's Club, the 12th book in that. This is Jessi's Secret Language. This is the graphic novel adaptation of The Babysitter's Club. This one is by Chan Chow, and I really enjoyed this. This is all about Jessi learning sign language because one of the boys that she's babysitting is deaf, and Jessi is a dancer and is getting ready to put on this recital, and so she's kind of just learning about body movement and how body is an expression of ourselves, and also learns that with sign language. I really, really like this one. I thought this was a great addition to the Babysitter's Club graphic novels, and so this one I gave 4 stars and really enjoyed it. All right, next I read Empty Smiles by Catherine Arden. This is the 4th and final book in the Small Spaces Quartet. This is the summer book. So it started with a fall book, then we got a winter book, then we got a spring book. This is the summer book. It is extremely scary, so I'm going to put it down. But it is a middle grade horror series that follows Ollie and her 2 friends at the beginning, 3 friends by the end, as they are trying to defeat the Smiling Man, who is kind of the main villain throughout the quartet. And this one takes place in a carnival, and it was very creepy. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was a great conclusion to this series, and I loved the first one. The middle 2 were just okay for me, but I really liked this last one as well. I thought it was just creepy enough without being like overkill for middle graders. And so yeah, 4 stars it is. All right, and then the last book that I want to share with you today is one of my most anticipated books of the year, and that is The Winners by Fredrik Backman. You guys, I love this book so much. I loved it so much. 5 stars. This is the 3rd and final book in the Beartown series by Fredrik Backman. This series follows a hockey town in Norway, Sweden. We're gonna go with Sweden. And it's all about just the town and how much they really emphasize hockey. In the first book, there is some stuff that goes down, and so the subsequent books have just kind of been following the town from the fallout of that, and this is the conclusion to that. It's very long. It talks a lot about mental health. There's a lot of triggers in this series, so make sure you look into that. But the writing in this book is so ding dang beautiful. I cannot even. And then I saw Fredrik Backman the other day. He was on Instagram and he posted that he had been on Goodreads responding to quotes from his books. And it just made me remember how much I love his writing. He is such a gifted writer. And if you don't follow him on Instagram, he's hilarious as well. So highly recommend following him on Instagram. But this book was so beautiful. I was not prepared for the end at all. So yeah, 5 stars across the board. Just loved it. So those are 8 books that I have read recently. If you've read any of these, I would love to hear your comments about them down below, and let me know what you've been reading recently as well. And that's going to do it for today. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you stick around and subscribe. And until next time, see ya.